Now, folks, see, look, we guaranteeing the YouTube intro when I start with now, folks. How's everyone doing? I feel phenomenal because a good friend of mine has left the right. Hunter Avallone was one of the first YouTube content creators who I started going after when I started my channel. It wasn't anything specific to Hunter Avallone's content. I just saw YouTube videos that were recommended to me and I started throwing my weight into criticizing them. Eventually, I was able to debate Hunter Avallone, and then afterwards, I think I kind of became his friend, and now I definitely am his friend. I've talked with Hunter Avallone quite a bit privately, this isn't me shilling for him or anything, because this is completely exigent to his political beliefs, but he is sincerely one of the kindest and most decent, generous people I've ever talked to. Seriously. It's funny, like, you know, I like left is best, I know, but Hunter Avallone and Shoe on Head have legitimately been like the kindest people, but nobody tops Hunter. Hunter has been so fucking nice, and his wife as well. Just the other day, Hunter Avallone posted a video, Why I Left the Right. Now, I've said in the past, people who do these Why I Left the Blank videos are degenerate grifters who are just trying to make money off of appealing to a new political audience. However, I don't really think that applies here. I want to acknowledge upfront how difficult the thing Hunter Avallone is doing is. It is incredibly difficult. Whenever I go against the common grain in an argument, whenever I say something that isn't perfectly orthodox leftist, whenever I disagree with my community, whenever whatever, people get mad at me. And when people get really mad at me, they leave. And that can be scary. Hunter Avallone is at great personal risk being honest and forthcoming about his political positions. I think this is one of the most sincere expressions of personal integrity you can possibly see from a person. For years, he has made his money off of a given set of political positions with a given audience, and he has chosen to challenge the integrity, the stability of all of that to realize his truth, to be honest about his positions. And I think that is one of the most incredibly sincere things imaginable, and I have nothing but respect for it. From Hunter Avallone going to a TPUSA conference and publicly saying he does not believe there is any water to the conservative conspiracy theory that social media websites are deplatforming or like deprioritizing conservative content, to him being shit on by Paul Joseph Watson or the likes of Roaming Millennial, to him engaging with his community and slowly but surely expressing to all of them how his positions have changed. He is one of the most sincere people I have ever spoken to. Yes?
Sorry to interrupt it. I just got the bagel.
Bagel! Whoop! Bagel. Bagel. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. We will tastefully integrate the bagels into this segment. Anyway, I'll let him take it away for a little while.
I don't have a script, obviously. I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys, just heart to heart, you know? This is a video that I've been...
Does anyone else think he looks a little bit like Leon Trotsky with the facial hair? Maybe a little bit? Maybe just a little, like not a lot. Not a lot, but like a little. Maybe? Maybe a little. Not a lot. Maybe a little. He's like a third the age of Trotsky, but...
thinking about making for kind of a while now. But I would ask that before you guys judge or freak out or something, just please just try to watch the video, the full video, before you just read the title and flip out. Because this is not me coming out as a libcuck or something, alright? I promise. A lot of you guys have probably noticed that I've seemed a little different lately. Like, my content has changed a little bit, which, as a YouTuber, like, that is kind of to be expected. people's content changes over time. Go look at like PewDiePie's first video compared to his videos now. Like YouTubers change, people change, and I have changed. I have, and some fans have definitely noticed that I've seemed a little different. My approach to some things has just seemed different. And honestly, those like noticing that makes sense to me because, like I said, I have changed. I am a little different. People, of course, have been accusing me of being a liberal or a leftist or something, which is just not true. But I certainly have been.
Yet. Pepe. This is a 30-minute long video, and it goes on for a while. Now, I could go over every position listed here. We could go over the entire video, but that wouldn't really serve the goal that I'm trying to achieve here. What I want to show you guys, I guess, is something I'm proud of, more so than something Hunter Avallone should be proud of. So, before I skip ahead in this video, there's something I want to say. It comes off a little weird maybe, but I hope you'll understand where I'm coming from. It is my job to convince people of my positions. That is literally why I have my channel. That is the whole thing that I do. To facilitate the spread of my beliefs. And I'm pretty decent at it, I'd like to believe. And I know that I had an influence in the change in perspective Hunter Avallone has had here. Now, I do want to make one thing perfectly clear. My respect for Hunter Avallone and my belief in his friendship is completely exigent to any utilitarian calculus I have on convincing people. I will admit, it would be dishonest of me to deny this, that I am always thinking about changing people's minds, whether I'm talking to friends, whether I'm talking to allies, or whether I'm talking to people I completely disagree with. That is always on my mind. But I don't think that takes away from the sincerity with which I feel, I guess, a sense of camaraderie with him. With that being said,
That maybe now I'm wrong about? And it was around this time, Rose was like a few months old. Me and Carissa, I'm trying to think, me and Carissa had started dating. I don't think we were engaged yet. When I was being called out by this YouTuber, Vosh. And I was already kind of questioning, like, it wasn't like I was thinking of all my like right-wing positions and sort of like thinking like, could I be wrong about this? Could I be wrong about this? But it was more like a subconscious thing, and it was more like the motion had been set. Okay? So the motion had been set. I was getting called out by this YouTuber Vosh, and I agreed to debate him, and I got wrecked. Literally, I got wrecked in the debate. Like, and this guy Vosh, listen, I don't agree with every position he holds by any means, all right? I think he has some pretty spicy takes that I don't agree with, all right? Let's not pull the whole guilt by association thing and claim that because I went on his show or something, or I debated him, that somehow makes me a bad person or means I agree with everything he's ever said. That's just not the case. However, during our debate, Vosh made some excellent points, specifically about LGBT issues, that I simply couldn't refute. So, like, I don't know what people wanted me to, would have expected me to do. But I'm not the type of person that's just going to stick my head in the sand and be like, well, this is the position that I need to hold because I need to hold it because I claim to be conservative. I don't care if I'm wrong. That's not how I work. That's not how I operate.
I cannot tell you how much integrity it takes to do what Hunter Avallone has done here. I pride myself on my willingness to change my mind if presented with better evidence. There have been times that I have been presented with better evidence on this channel. It doesn't happen too often, but... And I would struggle to do what Hunter Avallone has done here. The degree of charity, the degree of integrity, the degree of intellectual honesty present here is insane to me. And I think And while I don't agree with everything Hunter believes, as he doesn't agree with everything I believes, I am legitimately proud to call him a friend. And I think this is king shit. I think this is easy king shit right here. Easy, like, hardline king shit. And I want to pay due respects to him because this is him and this is his journey. And I hope it works out for him because he is going to get a lot of rough reception from his audience. I've gone through the comments section and it seems like a lot of people are being charitable towards him. It seems to me that the few thousand people who dislike the video are probably the same few thousand people who then unsubbed from his YouTube channel. And wouldn't that be nice? If Hunter Avallone could just get rid of them in one move and then continue to move forward authentically? I don't think it's going to be that way, though. I think he's going to keep getting shit for quite a while, which is rough. But he is... but he's in for a rough, immediate future, just by the nature of this platform. This platform disincentivizes change because people get used to the way their content creators are. If I suddenly became a liberal, like a non-leftist, you guys would be mad, right? Even if I provided the greatest possible arguments, even if I did everything in my power to explain how authentic and sincere my change of opinion was, you guys would get mad. Oh yeah, you would. And you would unsub for me too. And that's what he's going to be experiencing for a while. The only difference, of course, is that that would be me moving in a negative direction and him moving in a positive direction. It's rough. But God, I have so much fucking respect for him. A lot of the comments are rough, but a lot of them, the most upvoted ones, or the most liked ones, are fairly positive. And that's really awesome. Haven't you met with him IRL? No, I haven't. I've never met him in real life. If I had a genuine change of heart in that direction, would you espouse liberalism? Yes, I would. I'm very authentic. I don't think I'm capable of, like, lying about my positions. Even if it made me more money, I don't think I could do it. It would just make me miserable. If I ever became a liberal, I would advocate for liberal positions. And that's a good thing, mind you, because we want to believe in the sincerity of the people who are making arguments. We want to believe that we can judge the worth of arguments by people's willingness to adopt them. After all, if I don't believe I'm making good arguments when I'm making them, how can anyone ever believe they would be able to change my mind? They've already seen I'm not susceptible to better arguments. You're a centrist, that's okay. You can tell YouTube really likes this video. So are you on the right or left? Me, I'm on the Hunter side. I bet if we go to new comments, they're probably a little bit more. Never mind, a lot of these new comments are going to come from you guys, aren't they? Let's scroll past this segment. As someone who'd be considered a real conservative, unwatchable garbage. Dang, man, you've gained weight? I think Hunter looks pretty hot, but okay. Baby story is lame as fuck. Wish you addressed some actual arguments. People are going to be really mean to Hunter, and I don't think that he deserves any of it, but it's also 100% like an inevitable consequence of the decisions that he's made, you know? Living a life of integrity can often bring about quite a bit of personal suffering. But
And this kind of just kept pushing things in motion. You know, and like, I mean, having a kid changes you. Having, especially going through the experience that I went through with an unplanned pregnancy and breaking up with Carissa and then getting back together with her and realizing that I made a mistake and realizing that there's so much more like depth to life. I mean, having a kid has literally transformed me and made me like just a completely better person. And I know that not everyone likes this, that the fact that I'm a little different now, and that's okay. You know, you don't have to, but I'm much happier than I've ever been. And people claim they're like, "Oh, well, Hunter's gone soft." I don't think I've gone soft. I still have a passion for what I talk about, and I still care very deeply about the issues I discuss. But I would say that having Rose softened me. And it helped some of my bitterness to just like melt away a little bit because I used to be like an angry, bitter person. And so that combined with the Vosh debate sort of forced me to start reassessing some of my political positions. All right. So it was a slow process. Like, I know for a lot of people watching, it felt like it was kind of overnight, but like, I'm a YouTuber and I'm not a vlogger either. Like, I mean, I love you guys and I appreciate all you guys watching me, but like, you probably, like, I do commentary videos. You guys aren't seeing what's going on behind the scenes. Like, most people watching had no idea that like during 2018 I was going through like an unplanned pregnancy. I had no idea what to do. I was going through the most stress of my life because people just saw me for 10 minutes sitting down to my camera and talking about like just political issues.
This is one of the reasons why I like live streaming. If I'm ever having like a fucking processive breakdown, you guys can all watch it happen live. I'm not just here to talk about how cool Hunter is, though I do think he's very cool. There is one other thing that I want to talk about. As I said, the video goes on for a while, and I encourage all of you to go ahead and watch it. Seriously, go ahead and watch it. It's a good video. I think it's interesting, and I think it lays out many of the character traits that make me respect him so much. But there is another thing I want to talk about. And it will, of course, sound a little bit, self-congratulatory, but this is my job, and I take it seriously, and I think it's important to remember my influence here in times such as this. The decisions that Hunter Avallone have made were very much on their own. It was very, very, very much a personal process that he went through. And I would like to believe, and I'm comfortable saying this because he literally just said it in the video, that I helped. And I want this to be a reminder to people, to all the, I'm really sorry, closed-off woke scolds who occupy the broader leftist discourse. You can change people's minds if you put a little bit of effort in. You don't have to just leave them outside the gates because you found them in a suboptimal position. When I first debated Hunter Avallone, I went in with a lot of research. I watched a bunch of his videos beforehand, time-stamped different segments, and laid out quotes along with counter-arguments so I would be ready to respond to anything he had to say. More research than I've ever done for any other debate, by the way, because I was younger back then. I wasn't as good at it. But a few days before I actually debated Hunter Avallone, I got a message from Shoe-on-Head, and we talked a little bit about Hunter Avallone. And without wanting to leak logs or anything like that, the gist of it was that Shoe-on-Head humanized Hunter Avallone to me. I thought Hunter Avallone was just a grifty dipshit, like neocon who like hates gay people or whatever, and that he's just doing it for money, and that I'd blow him out with my facts and logic. But Shoe-on-Head talked with me, and the things that she said kind of reminded me that Hunter Avallone is a person. I never really forgot he was a person, but made me believe there was more of an opportunity to reach out to him. So I went out and I erased all of the arguments that I had underneath the citations that I had made from his videos, because they were vitriolic. At first I was more interested in just dunking on him. I wasn't as interested in trying to correct his positions. I changed my rhetorical style, and now here we are, sometime later. It's impossible for me to know how much I was an influence, but Hunter Avallone has left the right. So I just want this to be... Oh my god, that was too close. Sorry. I just want people to remember that at the end of the day, most people are reachable. Not everyone. If you're arguing on Twitter as a trans person with somebody with like a Groiper Avi, and they just keep saying like, haha, 41% Pepe, and then they post like pictures of razor blades or something, and they're like, oh, you don't like it? Fucking debate me, bro. Get to this Discord link. Here you go. You're probably not going to be able to change that person's mind. Just a hot take, probably not something you're going to be able to do. But not many people are like that. And for the longest time, I feel like conservatives have had a monopoly on reaching out to people who need to be reached out to. That conservatives have been the ones getting down in the trenches and really posting on the Twitters, going into the forums, reaching out to people in YouTube comments, really trying to bring people on board. And it bothers me because there's always been something a little bit disaffected, a little bit ivory tower, a little bit elitist about leftism. And if I had followed through on those tendencies in my dog-headed belief that people who disagree with me are just disagree with me because they suck and I have a big brain and I just need to dunk on everyone and dunking on people will make people like me, I don't think I would have been able to call Hunter Avallone a friend today. So, yeah, we just need to remember that incalculable good can sometimes come about from not writing people off. That's it. I respect Hunter Avallone tremendously. I don't mean to sound presumptuous, like I am to take credit for his personal journey or anything like that. Only that I understand that I played a role, and I think that more leftists could do to play that role more often. There we go. Now that right there is the opposite of blood sports. I agree, Libraven. I think I've come a long way since then. It's not as though Hunter is the only person who's engaged in personal growth. Hunter Avallone's wife is also, like, legitimately the most disgustingly kind person I've ever talked to. Like, seriously, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, Carissa? Is that her name? She is so fucking nice. What the fuck? Oh, there's one more thing that I want to say, and it's really fucking funny to me. It's so fucking funny to me, okay? You know how most of the people who, like, are on the right, most of the right-leaning demagogues on YouTube are, like, fucking degenerates, you know? Like, they'll sleep around, they'll drink and party and do drugs like crazy. They don't give a fuck. They don't adhere to any traditionalist moral values. They'll talk a big game about, like, being chaste and pure or whatever, but they're every bit as much like living the rock star life as any other YouTuber. You know what I mean? The funny thing to me is that Hunter Avallone left the right. He left the right, and Hunter Avallone is legit the most trad boy motherfucker out there. Hunter Avallone is like a straight white young man with strong moral virtues who met like a young woman and got married young and had an oopsie kid and then kept it because they wanted to keep a child and raise God's little blessing. He's not religious anymore, but still, God's blessing together. And now he's living like literally the trad boy life, like at 24 or 23, 25. I forget his exact. I know he's a little younger than me. Like, that's really funny to me. Like, this is the guy who leaves the right and he's literally living the fucking dream, you know? That is so funny to me. Trad boy, but in a good way, you know what I mean? Because, hey, I don't have a problem with people living life the way they want to. If people want to live life as a trad boy or trad girl, whatever, you know? Great, cool, just don't hurt other people. And Hunter Avallone isn't just not hurting people. Hunter Avallone is helping people. And I really, really, really hope, from the bottom of my heart, with every drop of sincerity in my blood, that Hunter Avallone's audience is as respectful to his change of heart as I have been, and that he is able to have a long and fruitful career, mostly free of drama, from groypers and conservatards clinging to his ankles like the dejected bitch babies they are. I can only hope. Why aren't you sub to him? Because I don't use this account for personal use. My YouTube account on this Google window isn't the one that I use to sub to people. I'm sub to him on my actual account. Subbed him anyway? You're right. True. Everyone else sub to him. And like this fucking video. Anyway, thanks, Hunter. Thanks for showing me that there's still room for humanity in politics. I get pretty cynical pretty often, you know? You are unironically like a bloomer. You are a white pill.